Hello everyone, I'm here with Dr. Karthik Nachiappan. He's Research Fellow at the Institute of South Asian Studies at the National University of Singapore. Let's talk about SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, and AI, artificial intelligence. Dr. Nachiappan, you observe a rather sprawling and diffuse architecture in the Asia-Pacific region, or at least in Southeast Asia, for digital economy, data, privacy, trade, AI, and infrastructure management, and standards. What are the major frameworks from your point of view?
So there are a few frameworks out there to help govern technology issues in the Asia-Pacific. Straight off the bat is the ASEAN Digital Economy Framework Agreement, which is a set of negotiations that ASEAN member states are engaging in right now to iron out the rules on issues like digital economy, e-commerce, cybersecurity, data flows, to enable standards to be harmonized across ASEAN member states. There's hope that this agreement will come to an end by 2025, and there'll be a mutually agreed upon digital economy framework for ASEAN going into 2026. Another framework is the APEC cross-border privacy rules. A lot of firms use this to share data between one another. It's a safe and effective standard that they find easy and workable to use, and they have been using that for a while. Another one is the Quad. Quad is a strategic framework that looks at technology issues now increasingly. So matters like cybersecurity, 5G, and increasingly AI. What Quad member states want to do is think about what kind of norms and standards they want to develop technologies in the region. Another framework is IPEF, the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity, which the previous US administration led and conducted negotiations on. There are other global frameworks which are equally applicable in the region. The ITU is engaged in technology discussions in Asia on issues like AI, cybersecurity, and also data. And all of this, what this means is that it's a very messy, it's a very fluid and diffuse technology governance architecture, and countries are engaging in some of these on these issues and others on other issues to find some sense of workability for their firms as they move forward on digital trade.
Thank you. You mentioned DEFA, the ASEAN Digital Economic Framework Agreement already. The negotiations are supposed to come to an end this year. Why is it so important?
It's important because ASEAN member states need a unified, harmonized standards for digital trade in the region. So instead of having 7, 8, 9 different kinds of rules on issues like data, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, digital identity, what this framework could create is a standard that makes it easier for firms to digitally trade with one another across the ASEAN. They haven't had this, and this will make a big difference, not just for firms, but also states as they engage in discussions on how to govern technologies between each other in ASEAN.
Against the backdrop of these evolving frameworks, how important is a close cooperation between regulators and especially small and medium-sized enterprises?
I think it could be very important going forward. Usually big firms have access to the regulators. The regulators have a better understanding of the constraints, the issues that big firms face when operating in Asia and across Asia. But the small and medium-sized enterprises generally don't have that kind of access. They face constraints in terms of talent, in terms of capital, in terms of compliance. And they generally would like to have a reasonably fair set of rules that they want to abide by as they digitally trade within their own country and across the ASEAN. And for these reasons, having a robust and a consistent relationship with regulators is important because they can share their issues, their concerns, and they can hopefully move forward in terms of thinking about how SMEs can grow sustainably over the next decade in ASEAN.
Thank you so much. Dr. Karthik Nachiappan, thank you so much for your attention. See you next time.